you beautiful people out there, what is going on? This is your friend Brady coming at you fast with another Call of Duty Advanced Warfare gameplay. And today you guys are going to be seeing some dubs, some game battles, actually some UMG, I guess, some UMG doubles match with my boy Contrue. We playing some Search and Destroy up in Riot. You know how it be, you know how it do. We go hard in the paint. And my buddy Contrue and I, we're going to be on the grind, Search and Destroy wise. That was me realizing that the battle is a pea shooter, but we scratched that that round away, and we keep going because we're just gods. No, I'm just kidding. You guys are just gonna see some game battles here, and I will be playing a lot more dubs because Katrina and I are grinding to get to playoffs and actually win playoffs. So you will see dubs matches a lot from me most likely, but today. The topic is something that's pretty interesting, something that a lot of competitive players understand and know about, and a lot of people can relate. So today's topic is actually about the difference between having confidence and having an ego. And there is a difference. There's a bad difference. There's a big difference. And some people sometimes might not recognize it or notice it when they are doing one or the other. So I wanted to kind of explain to you guys what that difference is, at least in my opinion, the goods and the bads of both, and what that can lead to when you're playing games. So, confidence is good, typically. Confidence is good. That means you're not afraid to challenge a gunfight. That means you're not hesitating. That means you're going into a gunfight ready to win that gunfight. That's what confidence is. Having an ego is basically being arrogantly confident, being ignorant, being so confident that it hurts. Whereas, where you have an ego is when, you feel like you're this amazing player, you're this god, you're just so good, right? And you have this level, and you set the bar for yourself at this certain level. And anything below this bar is worse than you. Any player who is worse than you is worse than you. And that seems pretty common sense, yes, predict whoever, anybody who's worse than me is worse than me. But it gets to the point of being arrogant. You're not even considering them the slightest of competition when you have a large enough ego. As soon as you get an ego, and everybody gets this at a certain point, and some people have certain degrees of their egos and certain level of their acceptance, then people stop being open-minded. People start being very, very, very close-minded because they have this ego. They have this standard for themselves that I am this good. Anybody who's not as good as me is not even worth my time. And same thing comes with gun skill. And sometimes that ego, aka overconfidence even, can lead to your demise. Whereas you're so cocky, you're so arrogant, you think that the other team is so bad that you either start fooling around or you start challenging stuff that is stupid to challenge. For example, you are one shot and you challenge somebody who is full health and they know where you are, and there's just no way of you being able to win that gunfight unless they miss every single bullet. But you think that they will miss every single bullet because you think you are that good, when in reality, you probably aren't. And that's the thing. You need to understand the difference between confidence and ego. Sometimes people let their ego get the best of them and they stop thinking, they stop playing smart, they stop, trying their best, and they start fooling around because there's these guys are pushovers, these guys aren't as good as me, I can do whatever, it's not even that hard. So, and that's what you guys want to avoid at all costs. You want to enter every game, whether it's game battles or tournament or just public match, whatever, you want to enter every game with an open mind, thinking that everybody is just as good as you are. And having that kind of mentality will actually make you play better, because if you think that everybody is just as good as you are, or even a bit better than you are, that will push you and that will drive you to play better than you actually typically play. Because, for example, you're on game battles, and this happens all the time, guys. I've been playing game battles since Black Ops 1. I see this happen all the time. People see a record on a team. They see a record that's something like 0 and 2 or something, right? And they're just instantly it goes into their brain, oh, these guys suck. Especially when you're on a team that's flawless, when you're on a team that's 14-0 or something like that. And if you're on a team like that, then you do have some leeway there, because you must be good enough if you won 14 straight. But at the same time, never underestimate people because of their record. Because You don't know what might have happened. They might have just had bad internet connection. They might have just gotten unlucky. They might have just gotten BS the entire game. You don't know that. You don't know that. So there's no point in trying to, look at somebody and judge them based on their win-loss ratio. Same thing with public match. Same thing with KD ratio. You have a 2.5 KD ratio and this other guy has a 0.5 KD ratio. You're probably instantly going to assume, oh, this guy fucking sucks. Well, maybe no. Maybe all that guy does is just knife only. But as soon as he whips out a gun, he might be really, really good. You don't know that. It's basically the same concept as don't judge a book by its cover. Don't judge people by their appearance. Get to know them first, and then you'll understand, what's going on. It's kind of common sense, but at the same time, people always let their egos get the best of them. So you want to be confident, right? You want to be confident in your own abilities. You want to know where you are currently standing skill-wise. You want to know where your gun skill is. You want to know where your smarts are. But at the same time, you don't want to overdo it, and you don't want to disregard everything else that you deem unworthy of your level, which is where egos are born. The funny thing is, people with egos, as soon as they run across somebody who is better than them, they do one of two things. They either get really, really angry and just say that other person is bad, that other person sucks, or they get super fanboyish and they're like, oh my gosh, this guy's amazing. He actually beat me. He must be a god. This guy's incredible. I need to add him as a friend, kind of thing. Now, I mean, you could look at this from different angles. It doesn't really matter. But what I'm trying to say is don't let your ego make your judgments for you. Whenever you're talking to people, whenever you're looking for teammates, don't let your ego get the better of you. Of course you're supposed to have standards. Of course you're not going to waste your time as somebody who's been playing competitive for 3 years straight. You're not going to waste your time with somebody who's just starting out competitive, and especially if they're not even good at the game in general. You're not going to waste your time, and that makes sense. But having such an unbelievable ego and then playing with people who are just about the same level as you, maybe even a bit better, but still having that ego, still having that inner thought that you are better than them, that is very unhealthy and that is very bad, and that can always lead to somebody's demise. So definitely always keep an open mind when you're playing. Always keep in mind that you want to be confident. You want to challenge gunfights. You want to go through strats. You want to try new things. You want to make sure that you do the right things. But at the same time, you don't want to make poor judgments. And that usually occurs when you don't have too good of an ego. That guy got destroyed. Alright, I just got to mention that, right? I couldn't win the 1v2, unfortunately, but that guy got destroyed. So there I was just confident in my gunfight. Plus, I didn't really have anywhere else to go. I was in a corner, so there wasn't much that I could have done there, but oh well. Nonetheless, it's a pretty good game. It's an alright game. Both my teammate and I, we do pretty solid, so ain't mad about it. But that's about it, guys. Just remember, stay confident. It's good to have confidence. You always want to have confidence, but don't overdo it. Don't get an ego. Don't grow an ego. Don't be a jackass. Don't be a mean person, right? Don't disregard others just because you have this crazy standard and you're not even willing to give them a chance. Always give everybody a chance. Always give everybody a chance. And then once you play 1 or 2 games with them, and then you're like, okay, this is not cutting. It's not cutting it. I'm not going to stand around for this. I'm not going to be patient for this stuff. It's not going to work for me. Then move on. But don't just instantly judge a book by its cover. Just be like, all right, whatever. Get out of here. Get out of my sight. You're not worthy. Kiss my toes. It's not. That's just unhealthy. And it's unhealthy in real life, too. You never want to be like that in real life because people are just going to think of you as closed-minded and just a jerk. That's just about it. People are just going to think of you as a jerk. So, nobody wants to be a jerk. Don't be a jerk. Don't have an ego. And also, people with egos make for very, very poor teammates because usually when people have egos, since they're closed-minded, they don't like to listen to other people's opinions or feedback or routes or strategies or anything like that. They're just very closed-minded because they think everything that they do is the best and they don't need to listen to anyone else, when in fact, you should always be learning from others and you should always be growing as an individual. That's about it, guys. The gameplay is wrapping up. Here is the upcoming last final kills. Thank you all so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, please drop a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Enjoy the rest of the gameplay, and as always, make sure you guys have a wonderful day.